29.
Great. Okay, members, we have a number of apologies from Mr McQuillan and Mr Beggs and Trevor, I think, as well.
Yes.
Yeah. Are members aware of any other apologies?
No,
Sean?
not.
I don't know about Dahi either.
Some of them actually in the chamber. I know.
Yeah,
Boy
maybe
Beggs is in because I think he's the next speaker in relation to the welfare reform.
Put that on record. We are holding our session during the plenary session, so there may be some members in the chamber. Okay, members. Minutes of the last meeting of the 18th of February. If members are content, I'll sign them into the record.
Agreed.
Agreed. Okay, members, agenda item 3, we have correspondence from Mr Darren Miller, who's the Chair of the Public Accounts Committee in the Assembly of Wales. Correspondence is tabled. It's a letter inviting the committee to visit the Welsh Assembly to discuss the committee's report on GP prescribing, as the PAC in Wales are holding a similar inquiry. Members, it's tabled. If you want to glean your eye over it. They have suggested that we could be eligible for a visit around May or June. Now, conscious that there is an election in May, so are we happy to note the correspondence, and maybe the clerks of both committees could look at maybe a date in June?
Aye.
Members?
Handy enough.
Yeah.
A week at least.
Would that be an opportunity to go to? Would that be an evidence session then that they'd be asking us?
Well, I think basically they wanted to speak to us around the GP prescribing, and we will have our own report by that time done and finalised. So I think it's more to go to Cardiff and visit their assembly and maybe see a session, maybe see a Public Accounts Committee in session, I think, when we're there. And similar visit that they had back in 2012 to us, if they're looking to exchange that. So are we agreed that the clerks of both committees can go away and do a wee bit of homework on that? Okay, agreed. Members, we've also correspondence from Ms Kerry Craig, who was one of the Beverley Residents Association who appeared in the public gallery last week. That correspondence is tabled. And a letter thanking the committee, if I can just read out a paragraph or two. She is writing on behalf of the Beverley residents to say a big thank you to the PAC committee for holding the evidence session last Wednesday. That was our ALP session. She welcomed the robust questioning of the witnesses by the Public Accounts Committee personnel at the inquiry, and they, as residents, were pleased to be observers of this. They've only ever wanted their situation to be given a fair hearing, and they believe that actually happened last week at our evidence session. So she wants to thank the committee for restoring the residents group's faith in their search for truth. Okay, members, agreed to note that correspondence. Members, agenda item 4 under matters arising. We have correspondence from the Audit Office re the Music Business Support Programme. This is actually going back quite some time, this is at page 11 of your electronic packs. You'll find the correspondence from the Audit Office regarding the Music Business Support Programme. Kieran, do you want to come forward, you and your team, just on this? The Audit Office are writing in response to concerns raised by Mr Paul O'Hagan about the award and the ongoing performance of the contract for the development and delivery of the programme. The Audit Office investigated Mr O'Hagan's concerns with the funders InvestNI and DCAL and did not find any evidence to corroborate his claims. As a result, the Audit Office will not be investigating the matter any further. Kieran, you're very welcome to our session today. Do you have anything to add to that?
Very little to add to that, other than we have been in touch with Mr O'Hagan, and if he has any further evidence on any concern, we're happy to look at that if he has anything else that he bring to the table. But on the basis of what we have so far, we don't think we can take the case any further.
Okay, thank you.
Not me.
I have no wee problem.
Yeah,
Heard it?
Right. Just before we move on, this is actually an issue that goes back a number of years, John. I think you might have been the only one on the committee at that time.
go ahead.
If you remember, it's in relation to the Music Business Support Programme. Do you recall that? No. Members, this correspondence to note anyway, so are we agreed to note?
Yeah.
Agreed. Okay, members, moving on. We've correspondence received from Mr David Connolly, which is at page 12 of your electronic packs. You'll find that correspondence from Mr Connolly regarding a meeting with the Minister for Regional Development. Members, do you have anything to add to that, or
What page
only
is it,
make
was it,
comment?
Peter?
Page 12.
Page 12, no different thing.
In your electronic packs on your tablet. Yeah.
I have a picture of some dude.
Members, this is to note. That's tomorrow's meeting.
I hear you.
There's two in your pack.
Have it.
Chair, just on that, and I appreciate that this is really just for noting.
Yeah.
Starting to look a wee bit like a previous case where there was a contractor involved in a tendering process as well with the same department. I don't know whether they've learnt their lessons from the last time or not, but I'm not so sure. I think we just have to let this one run. I don't think there's much we can do until hear what happens.
Yeah. Absolutely. I think. I mean, basically, it's a meeting that Mr Connolly's looking to have with the minister. It's kind of really outside of our remit, and we don't really have any ground over it. So it's to note.
Okay.
Yeah.
Happy enough to note it?
Yep.
Yeah, agreed. Okay, members. Moving on is also correspondence to note, which is at page 17 of your electronic packs also, members. It's correspondence from Mr James McKeown in relation to the Presbyterian Mutual Society. Mr McKeown again voices his concerns over the accounting treatment of financial assistance provided to the Presbyterian Mutual Society by Derry. Mr McKeown is not seeking a response to this letter. Again, members, it's to note, and it's at page 17 of your electronic packs.
Again, within the letter, he has asked the Audit Office to withdraw these statements and apologise. I presume the Audit Office wants to respond in some way to that request.
Well, we'll not be doing that.
They cannot be withdrawing them or apologising.
No, we've nothing to apologise for, and we've nothing to withdraw.
Okay,
Very firm on that, Chair.
absolutely. Okay, thank you, Kieran.
Yeah.
Okay, members, that's to note. Moving on, also, we've correspondence at page 14 of your electronic packs. This is it's from the Department of Education. It's the MOR update on a recommendation contained within a PAC report on preschool education expansion programme, which was published back in 2009-10. Again, it's to note, it's at page 14. Do members want to make any comment on that?
Noted.
Noted. Okay, thank you. Okay, members, that's all the correspondence we have tabled. Agenda item 5, our inquiry into managing and protecting funds held in court. And this is our briefing session from the Audit Office. The committee staff have tabled copies of the Audit Office report for managing and protecting funds held in court. Members, of page 3 of your confidential packs, also your yellow packs, you will see a briefing paper from the Audit Office on the actual report. And at page 6 of your confidential packs, you will also see a series of slides on the managing and protecting funds held in court report. Kieran, I'd like to invite you to introduce the briefing for today.
Chair, if I could pass you Neil Gray, who's Director leading the study, and talk you through the main issues.
Neil and Suzanne, you are very welcome.
Thank you, Chair. If I can refer you to the executive summary of the report that you have in front of you, it contains much of the information that the committee will need. Court Funds Office is a business unit within the Courts and Tribunals Service, which in its turn is an agency of the Department of Justice. And what it does is to provide a banking and investment service for the civil courts, looking after the money where a child has been awarded damages as a result of civil legal action, and managing the financial affairs of people who have become mentally incapacitated. It currently manages around £290 million on behalf of 14,000 clients who are, by their very nature, amongst the most vulnerable people in our society. It's worth noting, of course, that this is public money in its truest sense. This is money held by members of the public, which are under the custody of the courts. The current arrangements and the existing legislation for managing and protecting the funds in court don't currently provide value for money or proper accountability for clients' funds. And there are significant issues around the governance of the funds, around how the stockbroker services have been procured, around how performance of the stockbrokers and the investments is monitored, and indeed in terms of quality of service that's provided to the clients. The CNAG made a number of recommendations aimed at improving how funds are managed and ensuring that clients are better informed about the decisions being made on their behalf. That's all I'll say for the moment.
Okay, Neil. Yeah, we're moving into close. Members, can I get an agreement to move into closed session?
Agreed.
Agreed.
Room 29. This is the Northern Ireland Assembly, Committee Room 29.